For this for this review, I don't know if I'm qualified to review this just because I was so bored. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing The Dead Don't Hurt. What's this about? Pretty simple premise. We are in America during the Civil War, and there's a guy and a girl and a boy. And this is told in 3 different timelines. The girl Vivian while she was a girl. And Viggo Mortensen and Vivian, I don't know the actress's name, but then when they meet in this town in San Francisco, California. And then the third storyline is just Viggo Mortensen and his so-called son. And this story is intertwined very differently with when the girl was a little girl and her dad's in a night suit. Then you have the scenes where, he goes off to war and then something bad happens to her while she works at a bar. And then you have the final scene where it's just him and the son doing stuff. All right, cool. Janky editing. And when it comes to storytelling's perspective, I was just so freaking bored with this film. It opens up strong with a hanging basically to death, as well as kind of a town massacre where they call it a bloodbath, but there really is no blood in this movie, so calling it a bloodbath is a bold-faced lie. But I just don't know the reasoning of anything that happens in this story. Like I said, I don't know if I missed something because I was so bored and I was just out of it. Maybe I fell asleep and I didn't realize it. I don't know. Because, yes, this movie might look good. The cinematography might look good. And some of the score was nice. Yes, you could say the acting was good overall. Some of the accents were fine in my opinion. But, oh my god, my nose itches. Anyway, screw it. We're talking spoilers because I have to talk about this movie of how draggy it is. This movie drags. This is some of these slow. Some go, oh, it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn western chase. No, there's nothing burning about this movie. It's just slow. And when the action does occur, yeah, you can say, oh, that's some excitement. But that's like maybe 7 minutes in a 2-hour and 9-minute film. So it doesn't work for me whatsoever. Okay, so we're going to spoilers now. The movie basically opens up with Viggo Mortensen's so-called wife. It seems like they never get married. She's dead. Okay, cool. And now you're figuring out who this boy is with him. And they're kind of going on this adventure. If you want to call it adventure of, Dad, Viggo Mortensen, wanting to turn his badge in, the money, etc., into this town and call it quits. Between that and the very end, you just get these weird storylines of Vivian as a girl, which I don't know what that helps with the story. Maybe it helps because she liked her dad so much and her dad died in this war, and that's why they called the son Victor. Is it Victor or Victor? Yeah, Victor or something like that. Vincent or something. It starts with a V. Anyway, sure, but that has nothing to do with the story when you actually think about it. Okay, the part when they meet, sure, that's where you talk about the love life and how he needs to go to war to see what this slavery is about so he can stop that. And then she gets raped by this Weston character, who this Weston family is basically a guy that, has money. And so they're going to basically cover everything up that they can. They're dicks. They basically run this town. And so you have that and you're like, okay, it's fucked up shit happening there. But there's just so many missing elements, it feels like it. Like, there's a scene where he comes back to war, and she's like, Weston did this, and it was basically a rape. And so he goes crazy, and he's like, well, he shot some Mexicans and stuff like that. Okay, so was that connected to the very beginning killing, or is that something completely different? It really doesn't say. It's basically like the viewer needs to figure out for themselves, which is fine on some elements, but when you're going back and forth, and some of the back and forth timelines, it's like you're in the timeline for maybe 10 to 15 seconds, then you're going back to a different time. Then you're going back to another timeline for 10 to 15 seconds, and you're going back. So there is no, for me to settle in and be like, okay, we are here at this point. we are actually here. We are actually here. And you don't get that whatsoever on some elements. And it was fucking annoying. And this movie, I'm going to say it again, it is slow as molasses. It drags. And I must have missed something because it feels like elements are missing, especially like where this Weston character is coming back. Because I thought he ran away. Why is he back? Doesn't explain. This family, why are they doing this? Why are they doing it with the bar? I don't know. Why is this Weston character randomly killing random people? Why is this sheriff character protecting his family knowing that it's not him? And basically the dad giving up kind of the mentally handicapped son at the same time. So you're just like, what are we trying to do? And like, why did the wife die? You kind of don't understand that. Or you kind of go, maybe she's died of natural causes, sure. But I feel like there's a disconnect. Or I fell asleep and I didn't realize it. And that is the most horrific thing a movie could do, is bore the audience 95% of the movie. Yes, like I said, it opened up like I was intrigued. But it sounds horrible, after the sentencing and death scene, the movie just fucking drags and goes nowhere. Yes, you could say it looks good, it sounds good, there's a decent score, but other than that, it just wasn't. So the dead don't die will receive a 1 out of 5 of Futons, because at 20%. Am I being harsh with this movie? Maybe. But I was bored. I was so fucking bored. Oh my god. Critics, an 85% with 62 of them. Audience score is 60% with fewer than 50. Critic consensus, a solid step forward for Viggo Mortensen as a director. The Dead Don't Hurt offers viewers a comfortably old-fashioned Western with a satisfyingly character-driven story. I gotta see the audiences in this. Okay, audience scores. We have a 3, we have a 5, a 4, a 4, a 3, holy shit. Okay, then we have one guy. Horrible, boring movie. Don't waste your time. And a 50%. A 2-star, very slow. A half a star. Too slow. Too slow. Too slow. Okay, now I'm curious of the critics. I mean, they're saying it's old-fashioned Western. Okay, false. There's so many more old-fashioned Westerns are so much more entertaining than this. We got a 50%. I guess I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. 20, 60, 86. Chase Talk here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of the things, Bluetontopia. You Blue Futon, take a great day. I don't care what to say tomorrow, week, from now, month, or year from now. Every single freaking one of you. That's the worst thing you could do for me, is make a movie boring. And this did it.